phone via VoIP, and our network's not here right now. And he's able to use the phone right now. And the point,
it goes in and out.
the point is that my aunt is calling. He's saying my father, who's an electrician, is short of money.
My aunt keeps calling him on the top.
My aunt calls. She's calling every day now. Like, if you look at his call log.
This is his cell phone. He left it inside his bedroom. It keeps going off. Like it's every member of my family calling.
And nobody can live with Diana, he says.
It's important. He said nobody can live with my aunt. He's on the phone. My family's all sick right now. He's asking my aunt about my guitar. He's informing my aunt about my guitar. She didn't respond.
My family doesn't believe. My family is stupid. This person went to college. Doesn't believe it. Like,
they think my
this person dropped out of college.
Brother and sister.
They dropped out of college.
My aunt's
because
children.
They were afraid. Social anxiety.
My aunt thinks they're smarter.
And this person said they're smarter than I am because they're her children. Sorry.
Simple reason.
Basically, this is mommy. And mommy said that those people are more intelligent because she's stupid, and a parent will think their kid is a baby genius. And
like basically, my aunt believes my grandfather is the best person. They all think my grandfather's like a saint.
This person, he stole a property of mine.
One of my cousins stole some property of mine.
Sorry, I'm just a little bit upset.
And
see, the internet's working.
Now the internet's starting to work.
See, the internet's working right there.
It's working. I get kicked off. I get.
What network?
Like. I don't know if I even want. I'm not gonna. My point is that, I'm getting kicked off, getting kicked on. It's difficult for me to post this information, and if the police aren't going to believe me, like that it's just like, if everybody says it's okay for you to hurt a grandma, if your entire family says it's okay for your grandmother to get hurt, for them to hurt your grandmother, then you know what, we can't do it. Like, as long as your family says it's okay, then it's okay. But once again, I'm a part of this family, and what I say matters. And because I took that because I stated, because I've stated this, they said, you know what, it doesn't matter if they kill you now. Now it doesn't matter if they kill you too. They killed my grandmother, but now it's like they've proven that, like, we're just going to let you die. Yeah, because once again, like, I called the dispatch to report for my car being stolen, and because it's the most difficult thing to do, to apparently report a stolen vehicle, and my stolen guitar. And the dispatch said, why are you back home? Why are you back home? Because I don't want to sleep outside, and the judge said I can sleep inside, and because my father tried to kill me, and the dispatch said, well, you're hurting your grandfather. And she's like, let me talk to your grandfather. And before she talked to my grandfather, she said I was hurting him. And I was like, what? No, ma'am, no, not at all, not at all. And so, because the dispatcher is connected with the police brutality and when my car was stolen, and and so when she talked to my grandfather on the phone, once again, this is very important. This moment where like you're like, well, I still don't believe Ethan, so I need the rest of the information, this part of the story. It's very important because this part of the story is like the truth, for like the peace of mind for the listener, that I must hear this. And then so get this. So to prove it, because you have to prove it, because some people you believe and some people you don't believe. Some people are out there, you'll never believe them no matter what, because you're not a detective, and you're judgmental and biased. But so the dispatcher said the dispatcher asked me to hand the phone to my grandfather, and then my grandfather said no, he's not doing that. My grandfather's just disabled. He's he's disabled, and they're just using this as my, like, you think they would be looking out for my grandfather. You would think they would be looking out for my grandfather, but that's actually not their motive. Their motive, because if their motive was to like look out for somebody, they would have stopped my grandmother from being hit in the face. They would have stopped my grandfather from hitting my grandmother. You know, it's complete. It's not true. And I'm gonna go further in saying that my grandfather, when he got angry because my aunt went to jail for yelling at my grandmother, that my grandfather closed. I had a joint bank account with him, and he closed it, and he doesn't remember that. And I had a full coverage on my car because I paid for my car payment and my insurance, and so I filed a claim with my insurance. And because I had full coverage, and my grandfather doesn't understand how I paid for a car, how I paid for insurance. He says I didn't have, like, he says that he doesn't get it, and then but it's not because he's old. It's because, like, he hates me internally. It's because he hates everything. He hates me and wants to hurt me, and that's how it is sometimes with the family dynamic. It's like they just don't like who you are, and because they're horrible people. They're sick in the head. It's literally the devil. It is by all means the devil. Because I feed homeless people, and like I go out and I actually like am proactive, and so what my grandfather did after my aunt got arrested was he closed my bank account. He jointly opened my bank. Uh he jointly had a bank account with me, and then he closed it so I couldn't make my car payment. The day I bought my car, he said you need to return it, and he's like, go take it back. And the only reason I bought a car was because coming off the highway downtown, people who were drinking and doing drugs and distributing drugs ran into my car coming off of like Congress, and I was going on turning, so Congress Parkway, coming off the interstate going downtown, it just goes right into downtown. Well, they just blew a red light and hit oncoming traffic, and I was the car that they hit. And then I went and I crashed my car into a wall, and they ran off. And the individual who did that, they were students at Northern Illinois University, NIU, and it's important because, like, you go to that college because and you're probably studying like something that's not even like worth studying, and and you're a criminal and you're doing drugs. Like, good job. Like, wait, because I did my work. I did, and I told my lawyers about who it was. I told the police who it was. Like, like, so basically, you know, even a criminal who's like distributing drugs. So they all, like, 10 people got out of a car like the size of like a two-seater. Like, it was like a four-seater, but it was like that small. Like, 10 people got out of that car, and they all ran away. And this person, you know, has shown that they do drugs, they drink, and that there's like, they took a lot of stuff out of the car, and because only an idiot would go into oncoming traffic coming off the interstate, you know, and go into oncoming traffic if they were stoned, high, and all that, which is why they fled. And I'm just gonna, like, this is important because, like, everybody in the entire world can try to kill me. Um, Grandpa, yeah, you did the driveway.
Yeah, well, I'm not waiting on you for it.
You just came into the room 2 seconds ago, and
No, I didn't. I did the drive not even 2 seconds ago.
well, it only takes 2 minutes to do the drive. You throw like 3,800 cubic feet per second.
Oh, yeah. Ethan figured all that.
Well, your snowblower is like that big, okay?
Don't worry about it. Close the freaking door.
Well, hold on. I would have done it.
Yeah, sure. When?
Right now,
Tomorrow, the next day? What?
like as soon as I.
No, when I ask you to do something, I want you to do it like within a certain amount of time.
But if I don't do it, you're gonna call. Are you gonna call the police?
No, I'm going to do it myself, like I did.
Okay, so you're able to do the driveway. Do you want me to do the back?
I do.
Okay, I can shovel that like in a little bit.
Do the porch,
Okay.
and over here where it's at, and you've got to do the drive and make a trail around the house and take the garbage cans out front.
Okay. Okay. That's important. This is an order of protection. I'm sorry, I need to slow down a little bit. At least I'm apologizing for it. That's from shaving. Just go, stay with me. This is an order of protection. Okay. I'm the petitioner. Now he's responded. And it's it's been filed and it's been approved. It's been approved. And notice the confidential. Notice that it says confidential right here because of corruption. So, and that's the thing is my family is powerful, and they get to, and they get to hurt me. They basically get to hurt me, and so I just, what happened was, my father. The police issued my father. Well, what happened was the police allowed my father to go to court and try to file and order this paperwork himself, and then he didn't show up to court because he had to lie and commit perjury and lie on it, and so it got dropped, and which is fine. I believe that everybody who thinks they are correct deserves to be heard by a judge and plead their case. But however, the issue is that it's only a misdemeanor. But it's only a misdemeanor to tell the judge a lie and try to hurt somebody. These papers, so my grandfather can file one of these papers and lie on it, and if the police if the police intervene and that person can't go to court, then it basically prevents you from being able to argue in that case. And if the judge doesn't, if this evidence, my battery's about to die. If this evidence isn't available to the judge, then you you can't prove it. It's just his word against my word, and my grandfather, if you can listen to what he says, he's just, yeah, I didn't do it. Where's your car at? I didn't. If I don't have your car, how can you prove that I took it? That's what I'm saying. Well, I left. I didn't. Why would I get rid of my car? Because my grandfather's well, he has a disability because I don't want to go to jail for stealing his car and beating up my wife. He did. This is a bathroom. I would have to sit in this room, and then this is the bathroom right here, and then this is the bathroom. Okay, I can just turn on the light. This is the bathroom that he would turn off the light, close the door, and make her sit in a wheelchair and walk away because they argue, and that's how he punishes her. That's how he punishes her. And I said, sir, it's not how we handle it. And he said, if I call the police, he's going to lie to the police, and I'm going to be arrested. Like, and my father said, and my father said, yeah, I'm going to lie for him. I pick my dad. My father said, I'm going to pick my dad over my mom. Makes sense. It makes sense. And my neighbor said, yeah, it makes sense. We're gonna, and how they're willing to, for this order, because I sued my neighbor, because I told them, and they said, I asked to call the police, and they said no, and they wanted me to they wanted to hurt me, like, because they're like, well, yeah, just have him sleep outside or something, if this is how it is. I'm like, well, how about getting rid of like, how about getting counseling for the right person, or like somebody, nobody's going to tell my grandfather what to do, and so my neighbor's going to go and testify. My grandfather has alleged that my neighbor's going to go to court and testify on the behalf of my father because I sued the hell out of him, and I have to go to I sued them, so they're going to retaliate because they believe my grandfather was like this a freaking saint, a saint, and yeah, they think they think everything he does is like logical, and everything he believes is logical. Like, you think you know your neighbor, you really don't know your neighbor, and my point is that, like, once again, like, help. My grandmother got hit in the face. No, we're not going to help you. Well, like, please, can you help? No, it's not our problem. But they'll, but after she dies, they'll have their son come over and arrest my grandmother to put my grandmother to rest. And in the meantime, they'll have one of their members of their church come over and tell me I need to behave, so they can because technically, legally, they're responsible for my pain and suffering, and they're not responsible for my grandmother's pain and suffering. But they made a commitment. They've made a commitment. My grandfather would leave my grandmother alone, so they would watch my grandmother. However, there have been multiple individuals who have done that and left. They've left halfway through. And so that's how well my grandfather was at taking care of my grandmother. When I couldn't be here, he would have people come and watch my grandmother. They would just leave, and she fell over and over and over and over and over again. So that's yeah, and I can show you the let me just show you. Like in loving memory of my grandmother, I know I'm going quickly, but like in loving memory of my grandmother, because this can be emotional, or people can, or you can really understand that in loving memory of my grandmother, who fell at, because I couldn't tell him to stop, like I couldn't tell her to build a handrail. I mean, I couldn't tell him to build a handrail. Okay, I couldn't tell him to like. He replaced the flooring with wood floors, and I'm like, she's going to fall. She's going to fall. And he's like, no, she's not. She's not gonna fall. She like, she's like cracked. She broke her arm and broke her leg, like because of the wood floor. She took out the carpet, put the wood floor down, and like no handrails, nothing. My grandfather believed that a handrail would deface and devalue the house. I just want to show you. I just want to show you the signature. They could have ripped it out. Yep. Yep. Final resting place here. Final resting place here. Okay. And then, remember, that's their son. Now, I don't think he's really a member of. I don't think he's Catholic. Well, one of them is, yeah. One of them is, and so I just want to make it clear that I can get your signal, your bandwidth over here. All right, I can get your signal over here, and so when I told you that you need to have your internet like locked, and you need to have your, I can get your signal, and it says your name, and you should like make sure you have a password on your internet, and then they get upset about that, then and my computer goes in and out, so I'll just say that, because that's the truth, is that like they're not there, they're not at that, and they're not at the house. Okay, like they came and they left. Like, I'll show you. Like, this is how stupid people are. Like, it's not like, just tell the members of your church, just tell the members of your church to have parental controls on the children's devices and on even the parents' devices. Have everything locked down. Have everything in your like don't listen to bad music. Like, don't listen to bad music. Don't watch TV that's like that has like murder and violence. Like, and make sure that everybody, like, don't just have an open like internet network. Like, like, because a lot of people at church are old, and they can be manipulated. And a lot of family members, just because one person goes to church, doesn't mean the rest of the family goes to church, and they're just gonna, and a lot of old people are left alone. Okay, are just left alone. So, and nobody takes really care of them. Like, literally, they just, like, how many people you visit your grandma and grandpa like once a week on Sunday? The rest of the time they're left alone. Like, and now with the internet, like, you're gonna like identity. Okay, so the garage is open. They're there. I'll show you right now. The garage just opened. Like, I'm not a liar. Like, and I am making a couple accusations, but it's Sunday. They went to church. That makes sense. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. But now I'm like, my point is that my next door neighbor left, and they left as soon as I came back. The police constantly monitor this block because my grandfather has called them so many times, and so it's like it looks bad. Like it's not. It doesn't feel like a neighborhood. It doesn't feel like a neighborhood anymore. I'm gonna get off topic, but you know how we'd have that, like, the old idea where a police officer would control like per neighborhood. Well, it doesn't. It ends up being like it. It ends up being where that when that police officer makes a mistake, then then the person they made a mistake on, because they like they've been after that same person, and then it just becomes like a bad idea. And it's like if you're drinking and you're at a bar and the police are too close to the bar, it's like you can allege that they were like, like they had like motive, like it was like they have to stay kind of far away from the bar. It's kind of the same thing with like a neighborhood watch police. But so I'm just saying that's the police have been out here a lot, and they've been misled, and they've been misled, and my grandmother has died from it, and I told them to help, and they didn't help. And all I ever asked them was if I could, like, can I borrow, like, because they had a disabled, child throughout their whole time. They have like, and she passed away unfortunately. But they have wheelchair ramps, and I just asked, like, I told them that the city is not allowing my grandfather says he doesn't want a wheelchair ramp. So, because he says no, it's like the city said we can't do anything about it. My grandfather said no, and they said, well, we can't do anything about it. So I asked them, they said no. I said, okay, that's fine. And then I told them that, look, my internet signal is just bouncing all over the place, and my computers aren't working, and like you should make sure that you have your, like, your network locked down, and then you should tell the members of your congregation the same thing, because my grandfather, because they're old, and my grandfather, like, he just leaves tabs open, and just, games tabs, just like things that are very easy to just, like, tamper with, and so and so that's kind of that was it, and they just got angry because people are like, they got angry. It's like if you go on, like, on your like, there's like a channel for, like, how to be a better internet practices. There's a TV channel for that. And that made him upset, because the police were called. The police were called out, and it just made me look like a bad person. It just made me look bad. And, like, you would think they're not judgmental, but everybody is judgmental no matter what. And so and when my family members think a womanizer is like a good person, like, because my family thinks a womanizer is a good person, and they it, how they tell how what they say is like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, if you don't tell the truth, you will live in denial, and you will build your reality, to compensate for the denial. And why would you live in denial for another person? Like, it's one thing for self-preservation to live in denial, but why would you build a lie for somebody else? and then because you love them, like, just tell it how it is. Like, because if you really love them, you'll love them no matter what. But saying it's okay and it's not a big deal, and like not being able to gauge like what a big deal is is like, the police will say, you know what? Well, if you don't think it's a big deal, then we don't think it's a big deal. Like, so if you don't think it's a big deal that you hit your wife, then we don't think it's a big deal if you hit your wife. That's how it works. That's how it works. Um, and and nobody wants to get involved. They don't want to get involved. Like, so she dies. She died. She died. It's not okay. It's not okay. And they won't get involved, but they'll put her to rest. They'll put her to rest. Now, like literally, they called somebody over from their church and told me to not intervene. Well, my father's going to allow it. My aunt's gonna allow it. Like, what the hell? What your motive? What's your motive? It ended with her dying. They're that stupid. They're that stupid. And I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. You're gonna pay for it. Financially. If you think you're smarter than I am, then you should have known and believed when I told you. But instead, you said you were smarter, and I was wrong. You said I was wrong. That's and then my family member lied to the police. Perfect. Perfect. So, see, like, I was this big. I was literally like, I was humongous. I worked out every freaking day. Every freaking day.